This is part 2 of the question that I got from my students that I wrote today, being 16th April 2026. If it's your first time tuning, please subscribe to this channel because you have a lot to gain. And at the end of this video, you should be able to thank me later because these questions are going to be repeated. From the information I got, they repeat most of the questions on different badges. Most importantly, JAMB has now changed their pattern of questions. It's now looking like a WAEC question. Please get note of that as you prepare for your exams. With no further ado, let's get straight into the video. Question 1. To experience an increase in pressure of a gas at constant temperature, the volume must... Now, for us to answer this question, you must remember that in gas laws, when we have pressure and volume, there must be a constant temperature. That is Boyle's law. So Boyle's law states that the pressure of a fixed mass of gas is inversely proportional to what? To its volume, right? At constant temperature. So they are inversely proportional. So if you want to increase this one, there must be a decrease in what? In the volume. Do you understand? So the correct answer is what? Decrease. Question 2. An object that is partially submerged in a fluid of density 780 kg per meter cube experiences a buoyant force of 250 Newton. Calculate the volume of the liquid displaced. We are giving G to be 10 meters per second squared. Now look at, if you are talking about buoyant force, you look at upthrust, right? So this upthrust is equals to volume times density times what? G, right? So from the equation, the buoyant force is given as 250, okay? So we have this is 250, which is equals to, we're looking for the volume, then times the density is 780 times G is what? 10. Okay, so we're going to divide. That V is equals to 250 divided by 780 times what? 10, okay? So this cancels this, okay? So by the time you divide, my volume is equals to 32 times 10 raised to the power of minus 3 meter cube. Okay, so when you see a question like this, I've done something like this before, but this is another pattern of it that my students saw also. So when you see a question like this, this is how you are going to solve it. Let's go to the next one. Question 3. In electrolysis, when the same quantity of electricity is passed through different electrolytes, the mass of substance deposited is proportional to the chemical equivalent. Chemical equivalent, right? This one is under the second Faraday's law of electrolysis. All right, so question 4. By adding pentavalent impurity atoms to an intrinsic semiconductor material, the number of what happens to the number of electrons? So we have the number of free electrons increased, okay, because then we have excess number of free electrons because it is what? Pentavalent impurities. All right, question 5. In RLC circuits, resonance occur when SL is equals what? XC, right? That also means that VL equals VC, okay, at resonance. And also at resonance, maximum current is obtained. Please don't forget in case you see something like this in your question. Question 6. A 6-volt battery delivers a current through an external load of 1.25 ohms. What is the power supply? Now look at these parameters. We are given the potential difference to be 6 volts, okay, resistance to be 1.25 ohms. What is the power supply? The formula for power, we have the formulas. We have IV or I square R or V square over R, right? Now, from the parameters given, we are going to use this formula equals to power to solve. All right, so let's get to the solving. So using V is equals to V square over R. Now, what is my V? I have 6, so this is the same thing as 6 times 6, right? Divided by 1.25, okay? So 6 times 6 is 36, then divided by 1.25. So by the time you divide, you're going to get the answer to be 28.8 watts. Okay, so the formula, the answer to this question is 28.8 watts as the power, right? So this is the answer. So when you see a question like this, is how to solve it. Let's go to the next one. Question 7. The ratio of mass of water vapor present in the air to the mass of water vapor necessary to saturate the same volume of air at the same temperature is known as relative humidity. Please don't forget this question. Okay, question 8. When saturated vapor pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure, what is it called? It is called boiling point. Boiling point is the temperature at which saturated vapor pressure is equal to atmospheric pressure. So this particular question came out in this exam this morning, but I have to bring this one because JAMB can twist a question. If they might even repeat it again or even bring something similar to this one, please take note of that. Let's go to the next one. Question 9. What happens to the leaf of a gold leaf electroscope when the same charge is put on it? If we have the same charge on a gold leaf electroscope, it's going to do what? Diverge. That is open. Okay, I'm going to have diverge. That is open. But if you have opposite charge, it's going to do what? Close up. All right. Question 10. What is the property of wave that doesn't change with medium? So the only property of wave that does not change when a particle move from one medium to another is said to be what? Frequency. So the answer is frequency. Question 11. What is the slope of the velocity time graph? The slope of velocity time graph is acceleration. Question 12. When a magnet is divided into two, what is formed? If you divide a magnet into two, it's going to produce two different magnets, right? So I'm going to say two different magnets. Okay, when a magnet is cut into two, it's going to still produce a magnet because a magnet is once a magnet. All right, question 13. A gas of volume 546 centimeter cube at 0 degrees Celsius, find the final volume if the temperature is minus 10 degrees Celsius. So you are going to be looking at Charles' law. Okay, so the first volume is 546 centimeter cube. The first temperature, which is T1, is 0 degrees Celsius. We are converting it to Kelvin by adding 273. So this is 273 Kelvin, right? So we are looking for the final volume when the final temperature is minus 100 degrees Celsius. We now add 273. It's going to give me 173 Kelvin, right? So we're going to apply Charles' law, which states that V over T, right, is equals to V2 over T2, right? Since you're looking for V2, my V2 is equals to V1 T2 over T1. So let's solve. My V1 is 546 times my T1, my T2 is 173 all over 273. So let us multiply and divide and get the answer. The answer is going to give you 346 centimeter cube. Okay, so this is how to solve it. When you see a question like this, this is how you're going to solve it. Let's go to the next one. Question 14. What is the formula for refractive index? Now I'm going to give you all the formulas for refractive index. So anyone you see, you'll be able to answer it. Okay, refractive index M is equals to sine I over sine what? R, right? It's also equals to wavelength. Let me say speed in medium 1 over speed in medium what? 2. It's also equals to wavelength in medium 1 over wavelength in medium 2. Now you should also know that refractive index is also equals to critical angle, which is 1 over sine C. And also the refractive index also equals to real and apparent depth. In case you see any question at all, you're going to be able to solve. You have this is what? Real depth all over apparent depth. You can now see all the formulas you need to know under refractive index. So in case you're asked, pick any of them, you are going to be correct. Let's go to the next one. Question 15. Two bodies moving with 210 meters per second and 220 meters per second. Calculate their relative velocity. Now in this question, they did not specify the direction where the two bodies are moving, whether they are going opposite direction, the same direction. So it's going to have two answers. If they are moving in the same direction, you're going to do what? You subtract. But if they are moving in opposite direction, you add. So now I'm going to subtract them. So the relative velocity is equals to 220 minus 210, which is going to give me 10 meters per second. So you watch out when you see it in your exam, know what to pick. All right, question 16. What are the charge carriers in p-type semiconductors? The charge carrier, we have the holes and the electrons, but the majority carriers are the holes. Holes are the majority carriers, right? Why electrons, can call it free electrons. Free electrons, they are what? The minority carriers. Why the holes? They are what? The majority carriers, because p-type means positive type semiconductor, so we have more holes, and holes are positively charged. Question 17. An object of height 40 centimeters is 30 centimeters from a mirror. If the height of the image is 20 centimeters, what is the distance of the image from the mirror? So this is just like magnification formula, right? So the height of object is 40 centimeters, right? And the distance of object is 30 centimeters. Now the height of the image is given as 20 centimeters. You are looking at the distance of the image, right? So now what are we going to do? Using magnification formula, height of image over height of object is equals to distance of image over distance of what? The object. So let's put in what we have. So what do we have? The height of image is given as 20, okay, all over height of object is 40, right? Then this is equal to, looking at the distance, all over distance of the object is 30. Let us solve for the image distance. So say cross multiply, v is equals to 20 times 30 all over 40, right? So this cancel this, right? 4 into itself is 1. 4 into 20, I have what? 5. So 3 times are going to give me 15. So the image distance is 15 centimeters. I hope that is clear. Let's go to the next one. Question 18. Which is a derived unit? Option A, kilogram. Option B, meters. Option C, Kelvin. Option D, Newton. So it's only Newton that is a derived unit. So the answer is what? D. Question 19. Find the energy dissipated in a circuit of 0.5 amperes and 40 volts in 2 minutes. Now, we are asked to find the energy. Studying the parameters given, current is given as 0.5 amperes, right? Potential difference is given as 40 volts. Okay, so time is given as 2 minutes. Then remind that time must be in seconds, so we multiply by 60, which will give me 120 seconds. Okay, so the energy, which is what you are looking for, we have different formulas for energy. Let me state off for you, so anyone you see, you pick the correct formulas and solve. Energy is equal to IVT or I square RT or V square over RT or PT. So if you have a question, look at the parameters given, look at the particular equation that will fit in what you have. So from what I have parameters given, I'm going to use energy is equals to IVT, right? So let's work it out by saying this is 0.5 times 40 times 120. Simply by multiplying it, is going to give me 2,400 joules as the energy. I hope that is clear. So if you have such a question, this is how you're going to solve it. So the answer to this question is 2,400 joules. Let's go to the next one. Question 20. A resistance thermometer is 500 ohms at the ice point and 550 ohms at the steam point. What is the temperature at 535 ohms? So this is just like using a temperature scale to solve this problem, right? This resistance thermometer, okay, so this is the ice point. The ice point is rating, this is the ice point. The ice point is rating 500 ohms, right? While the steam point is rating 550 ohms, okay? Then you are comparing with ordinary what? Temperature, which is in Celsius. The ice point is 0 degrees C and the steam point is 100 degrees C. Now looking at the fundamental interval of this, okay, when this one is given as what? 535 ohms. Alright, remember the formula. The formula is fundamental interval minus lower fixed point divided by upper fixed point minus lower fixed points, right? So let's solve 535 minus 500, right, divided by 550 minus 500, okay? Then this is equals to theta minus 0 all over 100 minus 0, right? So let's just work it out. This is going to give me 35 all over 50 is equals to theta over 100, right? So we do cross multiply. So this is going to give me 50 theta is equals to 35 times 100. By the time I divide by what? By 50, I cancel this, right? So therefore theta is equals to, now this is going to give me 2, right? 2 times 35 is going to give me 70 degrees Celsius. Do you understand? This is how to solve this type of question. If you see something similar to this in your exam, please don't fail it and comment when you are done with your exams. Question 21. The movement of fluid up or down a narrow tube is called capillarity. Okay, so please just pay attention to this question. Question 22. A man 1.5 meters tall is standing 3 meters in front of a pinhole camera whose distance between the hole and the screen is 0.1 meters. What is the height of the image of the man on the screen? Now we have to analyze this question with a diagram. This is the man. Okay? This is the man, right? This is a pinhole camera. Please don't mind my drawing. Okay? So this man is standing. And it is the height of this man is 1.5 meters. So this is the height of this man is 1.5 meters, right? And the distance between him and the pinhole camera is 3 meters. Okay, this is the pinhole camera. Now this, the image of the man on the screen. See the screen. You know that image from by a pinhole camera is always inverted. Okay? Now also the distance between the hole and the screen of the pinhole is 0.1. So distance between this and this is 0.1. Okay, distance between the screen and the pinhole is 0.1. What are we looking for? The height of the image on the screen. We're looking at the height of the image. So we're going to use magnification formula to solve. Now it says that what? Height of image over height of object, which is equals to distance of image from pinhole over distance of object from pinhole. So the height of image is what we are looking for, divided by height of object is 1.5, right? This is equals to distance of image from pinhole is 0.1 all over distance of object is what? 3. So we say cross multiply. We do cross multiply, we have that the height of image is equals to 1.5 times 0.1 all over what? 3. Okay, so by the time we divide this, we are going to have what? 0.5. So we have to multiply. The height of image is going to give us 0.05 meters. Is that clear? So this is how to solve this type of question when you see it in your exam. An electron moving with a speed of 5.0 times 10 to the power of 5 meters per second enters a uniform magnetic field at 90 degrees. Calculate the magnitude of the magnetic force on the electron if the magnetic field intensity is 0.25 Tesla and we are given the electronic charge to be 1.6 times 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. So the formula for this electric magnetic force is QVB sin theta. Okay, so what's my charge? My charge is what? 1.6 times 10 to the power of minus 19. My speed is 5 times 10 to the power 5, and my magnetic field intensity is 0.25 times sine 90, and sine 90 is equals to 1. So you just have to multiply all through to get your answer. Your answer is 2 times 10 to the power of minus 14 Newton. So if you have a question like this is how you are going to solve it. Question 24. An AC generator can be converted to a DC electric motor by replacing the split ring with split rings. Please pay attention. This question was repeated. Please pay attention. Number 25. Oxidation of the filament in a light bulb is prevented by the introduction of what? Option A, hydrogen. Option B, oxygen. Option C, argon. Option D, mercury vapor. The correct option is what? Argon, which is option C. Thank you so much for staying and sticking to the end of this video. If this is the first time to you, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications to get notified each time I post videos. And lastly, do not forget to share so that other students that prepare for this same forthcoming exam can see it and learn from there. I'll see you next time in the next one. Bye for now.